Hi Leo, welcome to your general tarot tune-in. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. This is Tarot with Netta. This reading is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node in the sign of Leo. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If this reading doesn't resonate with you, check out your other placements. If it does, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Cross watchers are welcome. Grounding your reading, Four of Wands, Synchronicity 11:11. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. You are on the right path. You're never really on the wrong path, but let's go into the tarot. Okay, my dear Leo. So your challenge position, what's coming towards you, and your advice. As I was meditating on your energy, there's a sense of frustration of when are things going to get better, okay? I feel like you've been swimming through like yucky waters, very like murky, swamp-like energy, very heavy. And you want to get to the good part of life, okay? You could be like ruled by Saturn. You might have Capricorn or Aquarius in your chart. You could like karmically be, you know, identifying with some element of Saturn. You could be a life path 8. You could have a lot of constrictions in your life, like a lot of karmic ties, okay, where you want freedom to roam the world. You want to feel, yeah, free, and there's too many restrictions on you. So you're getting frustrated. You're trying to break out of the cage. If you think of a lion in a zoo, in a cage, you know, pacing back and forth, after some time, any like animal in a cage, especially when the confines are too small for, you know, the size of the animal, they start to become very complacent. They start to get like lazy, overweight. They lose their sex drive, you know, they lose their reason to live. So you could be feeling some depression. I feel like you're going to start taking more risks in your life. You might be entering like a midlife crisis stage, or, you know, what is that? Pluto squared, something where you're just like pushing back up against the cage. And it could be due to like many different things, but essentially it's like a part of your nature to be free and to roam. You could be an Aries North Node as well, where your life purpose is meant to, yeah, like have your identity, like be very firm in your identity. I feel like you could be like a prisoner, or feel like a prisoner of the decisions that you've made in your life up until this point. And now it's just like, you're thinking like, how do I break out of this cage? You know, it doesn't matter like what decisions you would have made. Anything that has led you up until this point in your life, you do see them as like creating some type of constriction for whatever reason. Even if your life ended up completely different, it's like you're kind of going backwards and thinking like, well, this led to that led to me being here, and you know, if I didn't do that 20 years ago, then I definitely would be in a different place. But not to say that like you think the grass is greener on the other side. I just feel like it's almost like an exploratory type of thinking, like, well, what if I decided to do that instead of this? You know, you're almost like the butterfly effect, you know, like really trying to break things down. But yeah, you can't really, you never know, right? And you're never really in the wrong place. Even if you feel like you're in the wrong place or the wrong time, you're always where you're meant to be, okay? Where your consciousness is sitting in your body at this time is where you're meant to be. Even if you're not quite happy or content with it. You might need to take up a meditation practice and just like sit with the shit and, you know, appreciate it, be grateful. I know that's like the last thing you want to hear. It's kind of annoying, but that might help you break out of some like mind constrictions. Let's go into the tarot. Your challenge position, the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. Yeah, there's definitely like a sense of opposition, but with the Seven of Swords, this is like paranoia, perceived opposition, perceived attacks, or like you could be putting yourself in a situation where others might like have to defend themselves and in that process attack you. So yeah, just be mindful here. But yeah, this is in your challenge position, the Eight of Pentacles to the Eight of Wands, 8, okay? As above, so below. You know, so whatever's going on in your mind, like your perception, it's going to create more of that in your reality. Excuse me. But these two falling in your challenge position, it's like something with your words. You could be like a teacher, you could be using your ability to speak, you know, as your profession, the Eight of Pentacles. You know, you've almost like boxed yourself into that corner or into that position that where you are that feels like a corner because of, yeah, the thoughts that you've had and the things that you've said, okay? The Eight of Wands. And you're just like, well, why did I say those things? Why did I want those things? Okay? So you're just kind of like backtracking. You're trying to figure out essentially like, were these your plans or were they planted in by somebody else? Like, are you just living out somebody else's dream that they had for you? You know, maybe your parents or a spouse or societal expectations. And that essentially is like the cage type of feeling because, yeah, I think you're trying to figure out like, are these the dreams that you wanted for yourself, or are these the dreams that somebody else had for yourself? You know, and not to say that your life is bad or like horrible, but it just feels like you could have more freedom and you don't, okay? You could have like some type of like, you know, bad like coping mechanisms as well because you don't feel that adventure in your life or that joy. So, you know, when you're coming to the end of like a very stressful situation, the end of a work week, or, you know, the end of like a school year, you could just like not know how to reset your nervous system. So you just have like bad coping skills because that's what you've been taught. You know, another thing that's been planted in you that you're creating more of as you know, partake in that behavior or that habit. You know, Eight of Pentacles, like things that, you know, repeat in cycles. You could be very good at them, you could be very bad, but there's been something like an energy, an energetic feedback, a feedback loop that has created more of this samskara, okay? Yeah, and it's like, where did these things come from? Are they even my ideas, or did somebody plant these ideas in me because of, you know, conspiracy theories, or, you know. Okay, what's coming towards you? Very interesting. So Aries have the same cards in their challenge position. You could be like trying to figure out like, do you want to commit to a situation or to a relationship? You almost like might be wanting to test somebody if they want to commit to you. So you're maybe manipulating them a little bit, trying to get an answer through manipulation. You almost feel a little bit resentful of this like cage that you're in. So because you don't quite know how to get out of it yet, you're being rebellious against it. You're almost saying like, where can I create the cracks in the cage? Where can I create the cracks in other people or the system, or, you know, some type of structure that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis to get like some adrenaline, like some rush or some like answer, like, okay, this is what I need to do in order to, you know, move through this situation. You're becoming a little bit mischievous. You could have Gemini in your chart as well, or even Capricorn. You know, again, Saturn ruled, but Capricorn, they're ambitious. They don't really stop at anything until they get what they want, and that could be something that you're embodying at this time, whether it's, you know, good or bad. I feel like, yeah, you're trying to individualize, you know, same as Aries, they had this energy, but yeah, I feel like you could be testing the commitments that you have made, you know, whether in profession, relationships, you know, things that are like lifelong commitments, parts of your identity even, and you're just seeing like, are they solid? Can I manipulate these commitments? Like, are they going to break under the pressure? Like, are they even committed to me? So you're just really testing the boundaries, testing the waters. Your advice, the Chariot, Ace of Cups, and 10 of Wands. Wow. So you have the Chariot here. This is fast moving energy. This is like the Knight of Knights, okay? Ruled by Cancer, fast moving energy, something that is coming towards you, or you're being advised to pack your shit up and go, you know. Ace of Cups, you know, 10 of Wands. You're going to be emotionally fulfilled, and you're not afraid to take your baggage with you if it calls for it. And I think you're not naive in the situation that like you want a different experience, you want a different life, you want to like change the way that your life looks. You might be in a state of like, I'm working my ass off, and so now I want to experience like the beauty of life, you know. It like, is this it? Like, just, you know, go to work, come home, sleep, dinner, shower, whatever, repeat, Groundhog Day kind of stuff. That could be the 10 of Wands energy as well. And you're just like, I know I have to do that, and you're not afraid of your responsibilities. It's like you're afraid of just like repeating the same thing over and over and over until you die. And I don't blame you. So yeah, I feel like you're wanting to move away or toward something that is like going to provide you a new outlook on life, a new emotional experience, something that's going to open up your heart and open up your eyes, you know. Like, you could be repressing a lot of emotions just to get through the days. You could be bottling up a lot of things, and you're like, you're very aware of it, but yeah, you're like apathetic towards it because you're a lion in a cage, and you're just planning like, what's the escape plan? Okay, Salem, we see your butt. Okay, Salem. Okay, I'm gonna get one card from the Moonology deck. Okay, Salem. All right, let's see. Hi, Bubs. I know he's in this little cage too. Okay, take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon. Yeah, I think a meditation practice will be very helpful at this time. Something where you can just breathe. Okay, Salem. Breathe in your energy, and, you know, find some clarity from where you are, and then be able to take the next steps forward. Salem. He keeps moving the camera. Okay. I'm sorry about that, Leo. Okay. Let me know if it resonated. I hope it helped, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.